Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's Coach M here. If you watched my previous video, you know that I was taking my girls to an away tournament. And while we didn't place in the finals, we didn't make that final game, we did end up making it to the semifinals, and I couldn't be prouder of my girls. And they followed every rule and every expectation I had set for them, and their parents were shocked at how well behaved they were at this tournament. And the rules, because a lot of them didn't know that this is what I expected of the girls until I had talked to them. And they asked me the girls had told me that you had expectations of them. Or they asked why are the girls letting you know where they're going, even though we're in the hotel and they're actually not mine or my responsibility at that moment. I'm like, well, I told them that they need to travel in packs or pairs because we're in an unfamiliar town, we're in an unfamiliar city, unfamiliar arena, that they need to let someone know where they're going. And they need to not travel by themselves. And honestly, a lot of the time in the hotels, they were either in the room right next to mine, which was our goalie's room. They were in my room, hanging out with me. Door open, parents know they're there. Always another coach in the room as well. Either it be my husband or my mom or my sister. There was always another member of the coaching staff in the room as well. So I was never alone with the girls when that was happening. Or they were in my mom's room where my mom, my sister, my husband, Cole, I were always hanging out. They were always with an adult. They were always together. And even in the arena. And we had our skills competition there, which I wasn't sure that they actually wanted to do. But they did it, and they did so well. We took 2 of the 4 different categories, which I was shocked by. There was fastest skater, best stick handler, best puck control, top shooter, and best goaltender. Well, we missed top shooter by 1 shot in a tie-breaking round. And we missed fastest skater by half a second. So my top shooter and my fastest skater were not too happy about that fact. But they'll get over it. They're fine with it. Actually, my top shooter, I was very proud of her. Because the night before, when the coaches and I, at the Windsor Lancers game we went to, were discussing who we thought would be our best option. We had talked about it on the car ride over. And I say my coaching staff, I mean my family, my mom, my sister, myself, my husband, my family. Even my dad is kind of on the coaching staff. He comes out to practices sometimes. He's actually not a bench staff. He's more of a practice staff. Ooh, as I'm falling over, I'm sorry. But he does come out, and the girls do call him Coach Scott. He's out quite often, which is nice. He comes to help because he has a lot of expertise I don't have. He's been coaching longer than I've been alive. So it's nice to have him come out and help as well. But we were discussing it and what we thought, and we had his input too. We had talked to him about it. He wasn't there. We had texted him and called him. And even talking about it beforehand as well, what he thought and what he had seen, who he thought would do well. Because I wasn't sure if it was one person, one skater and a goalie, or 3 skaters and a goalie. I wasn't sure. So when I got there, I asked, and they said, no, it's 1 skater per event, 1 goalie. I was like, perfect. That's all I needed to know. So we did that, and my top shooter, she is undoubtedly, unquestionably the best kid on my team, skill-wise. She is the best player I have. There are others that are right up there with her, but all-around player, she is my top player. So if I had to pick somebody to do all of them, it would have been her. But if it would have been just her, I don't think she would have did it. Now, remember in the one video I posted, if you'd watched it, if not, go back and watch it. It's a story time video that I talk about basically the worst season I ever had as a coach. But I talked about how her and her sister had given me a gift. And her sister had told me, you don't deserve it, or you earned it. Because I said I don't deserve it. Which really stuck with me, as I'm still telling you this now. So, she is a very shy kid. She does not like having pressure on her. We are going into January, and until the tournament, until the tournament, she hadn't started a game. She'd always gone second shift. Not because of my choice. I like rotating everybody. My defense rotates starts. And I like doing that with my forwards too. Well, Little Miss didn't want to start, ever. Well, I wanted to see her start once in the tournament. I wanted to see her start once this year. And while we were talking to her about who was going to do the skills comp, she was hemming and hawing. She's like, I don't know if I want to do it. Like, I'm not sure. And her sister was my top stick handler, top puck control. Well, her sister, being the kid she is, told her, well, if you're not doing it, I'm not doing it. Well, she, being the big sister she is, wanted her little sister to do it. At least that's how I read the situation. So she ended up doing it. And her stepmom there said, you need to start too. I go, perfect, why don't you start Saturday night? She goes, no, I don't want to. Like, I don't want to start. Her stepmom, bless her, says, if you start, if you'll do it, I will let you paint my face, because the girls wear face paint for the games. Well, that got her right into it, and she said, fine, I'll do it. And that was such a big step for her, for me, to see her do that and actually start the game. And she started with confidence. And I was thoroughly impressed. And she did it, and she did it without complaint. And she did well. She played like she always does. So I don't know why she was so worried about starting. Oh, wow, this is really pigmented. I don't know if I like that. Oh, my eyes are not even. But I guess we're going to roll with it. It's fine. But anyway, so they made it through to the semifinals by the skin of their teeth. They tied their first game 2-2, won their second game 6-2, or 6-4. 6-4? 6-4. Lost their third game in round robin 6-2. Well, because we had lost and we weren't sure what was happening because it was very tight in our pool for second and third, we told the girls we don't know. We weren't sure what was happening, and they lost that game. So, and the team, we told them, like, oh, if it helps us, it'll help us for them to lose. Because they had asked, like, what needs to happen. So we told them. I wasn't going to hide it from them. And, well, that team ended up winning. They won their game by the skin of their teeth. And so we lost our game. Our goaltender, who we brought in, who fit right in with our team, by the way, was very, very upset. She thought she did horrible, and she was the worst goalie ever, and she didn't make any saves. And we told her that's completely ridiculous. And I was going to pull up our goals against to show her, no, you did awesome, when I saw that we were still in second place. And so the points, like, yep, points were what they were. We moved on. I have never seen a bunch of girls go from so sad to so happy in the blink of an eye. And in that Saturday morning game where we won 6-4, as I'm blocking my face from you, I'm sorry. another one of my top players got not checked. It should have been called body checking, so I'll say she got checked really hard, got dizzy. Well, I can't let her play if she's dizzy. It's a safety hazard. She was absolutely fine. She ended up playing that night. But because she was dizzy, it scared her more than anything. So I think she was dizzy from hyperventilating and just being scared. That we told her, no, why don't you get undressed? And if you want, you can come stand by the bench. You're still with the team. Well, as she's walking off the bench, the other team scored on us. It was one of the 4 goals that game. And as soon as she starts walking off the bench with her mom and my sister, she bursts into tears. Because she thinks by not playing, she's letting her team down. And I told her, you're not letting anybody down. You're hurt. I'd rather have you go tonight, be ready to go tonight, than play now where you might not be okay and have you be out tonight and potentially the rest of the tournament, rest of the season. So she was very emotional. She was absolutely fine. I think it just scared her more than anything because she's not one to actually be hit. She's more of a rougher kid on the ice. So I think it scared her a little bit. But she was fine, as I said. If you can see that bruise, I'll talk about that in a minute too. But they made it through. This goalie was very upset. But she did fine. I was absolutely happy with the way she played. The girls were happy with the way she played. The other team was completely impressed by us and had watched our earlier game. And were shocked by how small our bench was. And how we could run when she went out with only 9. 9's easy. It's 8 when you have... 8's the problem number. But yeah, they did so well. We ended up losing in the semifinal 4-2. And there's nothing they could have done. They threw everything at this goalie. They did everything we asked. And it just wasn't enough that game. And so if you're wondering why I'm also putting on makeup, I do have to go coach tonight. And I've gotten in the habit of putting makeup on wherever I have to go. So if I stop now, I know I'll never do it again. And I'd like to wear makeup now to work. Oh, that happens with this one because it's older. It's getting older. Oh, I fixed it. I am not a beauty blogger by any means. I am not a makeup artist by any means. As you can tell by what I said earlier, my eyes were not even. But I do swear by this NYX lipstick. Liquid lipstick. Shine and Loud. I do swear by it. It's the only lipstick I ever use. And I have it in 2 different colors. But, so we made the semifinals, and this team, as I'm dropping, I'm sorry. This team we played was shocked. And I actually think we're going to be short-handed tonight. I'm 99% sure we're going to be short-handed, which is fine. I just wish we weren't. But 2 of my kids are gone away to a tournament with their brothers, which is absolutely fine. But because their brothers came with us last weekend, so they have to go to their brothers, which is fine. But we play short-handed if we have to, and we'll make it work. We always do. And so, as I showed you, I don't know if you can see it better in this light. I have a nice bruise on my arm. And this is actually from practice. Because karma bit me. Karma bit me pretty hard. I laughed at my dad who fell. And I'm like, yeah, it's gonna happen to me too. And I did fall spectacularly. I didn't catch an edge. I completely missed my edge. Because it wasn't there. I didn't sharpen my skates. I always tell my kids, sharpen your skates, sharpen your skates. Well, I think I need to practice what I preach. Because I haven't sharpened my skates since last February, so almost a year. But like I said, we play tonight. We are going into playoffs. And I've said it before, my kids placed 4th overall, which means we're in the top tier. But what I saw and how my kids competed in this tournament and the teams we saw there is not a team in our league that is stronger than any of the teams we played in that tournament. If anything, they're either the exact same or weaker. So I think that's going to help my kids confident-wise, especially with the 2 goalies that we're going to try and use because, again, I don't have a goaltender on my team. I don't have one because mine moved away. So we will make it work best we can. And my top skater from the tournament who started once, my other centerman's gone away. So her one little wing partner, who has done very, very well for me recently and has really shown confidence and has told my top skater in exhibition games, I want to try center. And when she needs a break, we throw this little one in the center. Well, I'm missing a centerman tonight. So she's not getting the choice. She has to play center this game. And neither of them really like to start. So I'm not going to make that decision myself. That is a decision those 2 are going to make. And if they can't make it themselves and they say, no, we both don't want to, well, they're going to play rock, paper, scissors. They're going to play a game of rock, paper, scissors, and whoever wins it, either one straight game or they can go best 2 out of 3, is going to start tonight with their line. And we shall see how it goes. I hope they do well. I hope they win tonight. Or at least tie. Let's get a point, girls. We can do it. But we'll see. I'm very proud of how they've done so far, especially with this tournament. I told them, and I'm not lying when I say this, I've been a coach for 10 years. And I've said that before. I've been a coach from 10 years in divisions from under 11 all the way up to under 15. So I've coached kids in a span of 10, younger than 10, because I've had under 7s, under 9s on my team. So from the age of 9 to 15. So a 6-year age span. And in 10 years, this is my favorite team I've ever had. 6 brand new kids, and we made it to, I always call it Championship Sunday of tournaments. The 2 tournaments we've done, we made Championship Sunday. They placed 4th overall with 6 brand new kids that have never played before. I have a picture of my girls in that skills competition, the 4 girls. And my top skater has her arm around the goalie, and my fastest skater has an arm around my top shooter and my best stick handler. They're standing all of their arm in arm together waiting to hear the results. They do not blame each other for the losses. They are a coherent group. And if I could take every single one of them next year, I would. And I call them my chaos demons, and they are. But they are the greatest group of kids I've ever coached. And I want them all next year, even though I know it's not possible. I'm going to have 3 or 4 of them maybe next year if they don't go to travel. But we will see what it holds. That's still a long way away. We still have 11 more games to get through, or 10 more games, something like that. No, 11 games. 11 games to get through, so we will see how it goes. And I have an idea for a video for my next video, if I can get my mom to do it with me, hopefully. If not, I will just get some points from her and see what she says. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Like, subscribe, leave your comments down below on videos you want to see, and I'll try my best to make them. If not, keep looking up for my videos and keep on coming back. I love having the views. I love seeing comments. So, you know what? See you at the rink. Bye.